Megathread, Ukraine current events. Do not share photos, videos, or any media showing the location of Ukrainian military. Edit. Thank you everyone for all of the awards and constructive comments. Please stop giving me awards and donate to help the people impacted by this bullshit instead. This Megathread has a lot of good resources for people in around the conflict who need help or need information. Look at some of the top comments, and listen to people who are much smarter than me. To all the people who have decided they want to say mean shit, and ignore this request from Ukrainian leadership, eat my whole ass. We're all aware of satellites, and modern military tech. Duck off. You're not clever, you're problematic. They asked us to not share shit for a reason. I'll just trust that the people being attacked have a better grasp on this than I do. As a Russian who currently doesn't live in Russia and despises all of Putin's Russian government's military actions, I am highly concerned about the well-being of the Ukrainian civilians who will get hurt if the situation escalated any further. At this point, I think Russia should get rid of Putin and the corrupt members of the government once and for all. Let's all hope the best for Ukraine and its civilians. How could they even get rid of Putin? Genuinely, I'm completely clueless on Russian politics society. Well, important political figures and heads of state have been assassinated countless of times throughout history. Human creativity is fearsome on both sides of the moral compass. It's more than likely that it would come from within as well. That would create a big power vacuum, no? A power vacuum with nukes. Technically this already happened twice, after Stalin and after the USSR collapsed. Dear Ukrainians, I heard on social media that there is fake news being spread, most likely by Russia-backed trolls, that Polish border is closed. It's a lie. If you seek asylum, go towards Polish border. We are ready for your arrival. We have reception points ready at the border where you can find shelter, food, medical and legal aid. Polish government launched a dedicated site to help you, ua.gov.pl. Please share this information if you know anyone seeking help right now. You don't need visa to pass through Polish border. All you need is passport. Visas are suspended. You don't need them for time being. Proof that you no longer need visa, in Ukrainian gov.pl and English gov.pl hashtag copied from whoever seer to spread awareness. Please spread on relevant threads to get the word out. I am impressed with Poland and the way they have stepped up right now. I think Poland is well aware of the impact of an invasion. They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two. In Poland we make you smarter about invasions because what you don't know can hurt you. 1992, Ukraine holds about 1/3 of the Soviet nuclear arsenal, the third largest in the world at the time, as well as significant means of its design and production. 1994, Ukraine agrees to dissolve the entire nuclear arsenal in exchange for safety guarantees from Russia, USA and the UK, becoming only nation in the history to willingly give up nukes. 2022, they are ducked and nobody wants to intervene because Russia got nukes. It's such a bitter and terrible thing to learn. No country will ever give up nukes again. I live near to my city's border. I've heard explosions and the house was shaking. Now I heard that there will be more explosions at night. I'm terrified, I'm scared of every sound. I never thought I'd be going through this at 14. Here's a little update. Thank you all guys. I don't have enough words to describe how grateful I am. I saw all your messages, even if I didn't reply, I saw it. All your words and support really made me feel better. I couldn't sleep that night, but all that you said made me calmer so I was able to fall asleep. Situation in my city looks like it's getting better now. Last night was quiet. I'll update again later. Thanks again. Update: shelling started in the city center. Almost all people turned off the lights. It's still calm in my area. Update: situation got worse, but I think I'm safe. Update: 2:44 me heard 2 explosions like 10 minutes ago. In news people say that situation is under control now, but I don't really trust them. I quit to think and update again: 4:32 situation is better now. My last update. It's late because I forgot to do it earlier. Now me and my hamster are completely safe. Thank you all for support and worrying. Hi kiddo, is your mom or dad around, or other family? The world is just as shocked as you are. I'm so sorry you are dealing with this. Sending a virtual hug to you and your hamster. I saw your post from before. A little cuddle might make both of you feel better. Me, my mom and grandma are together. Thank you so much for this words, it really helps to stay calm in this situation! 3. I'm glad you have family with you. I saw the speech from your president, as did many other people around the world. He is doing everything he can to protect your family and Ukraine. I just saw that the Pakistani Prime Minister landed in Moscow. I am an Indian and this is starting to worry me. That's not good at all. In Norway we have started using the Ukrainian way of writing Kyiv instead of Kiev like we always did, and everyone is questioning NATO. Nobody wants a war and this is really scary. Questioning NATO? Wondering what to do. Is it wrong that they are not helping? Most Norwegians want to help. If they help, will that trigger a full-blown war? That's really bad in every way. The head of NATO is our old prime minister and we have a shared border. Most people in Norway find this really ducked up and don't want a war. I don't want my grandmother to be born into war and die on the end or into another. NATO countries did supply the Ukraine with weapons and I'm sure we're helping with intelligence, but other than that it's going to be all about the sanctions to cripple Russia's economy. But that's not without cost. A lot of economies across the world are going to suffer. Edit, Ukraine, not the Ukraine. Shared economic suffering is trivial compared to what the Ukrainians are going through right now, though. Definitely. But politicians are all about the economy and more than a few European countries rely gas from Russia. If we want to hit Russia where it hurts, we just have to stop buying their gas. Now go look around and see how many politicians are advocating that idea. No, Russia, put it back, it's not yours. But Putin wants that thing. Putin needs to be put out. Duck Putin, all my homies hate Putin. I am officially your homie now. Homies unite. A Megathread was definitely needed for this. Good call, mods. Hashtag is stand with Ukraine. In preparation of nuclear apocalypse, I am cramming as many bottle caps into my rectum as possible. I'm gonna be so rich in a few days, you jokes have no clue. Please let this age poorly. Please let this age poorly. Please let this age poorly. Crossing my ducking fingers. All 13 of them. Edit, I'm sorry if you've seen this message, but I need to address that to as many of you as possible. Don't just be angry at forums, it's useless, we know, and really appreciate your support, but you can do more than that. I'm not asking you to fight for us on our land, but you can make much more damage to them. Please, ask your government and authorities to make more damage to Russia's economic. Small sanctions not enough. Show Russia that they made big mistake. Show them that this type of aggression will not go unpunished. We're gonna defend ourselves without a doubt. We're here standing not for ourselves but for whole Europe. Peace from Ukraine. How am I even supposed to sleep at night with all the crap going on in the world? My solution thus far has been a prescription sleep aid, but after looking at today's events, I don't know if that'll work either. I'm curious for citizens of Western countries. What line would Russia need to cross for you to support a military response against Russia? I ask this as I'm not sure myself where I land, but I feel like I'm close. Admittedly, I'm pretty angry and an emotional response to provoke all-out war is not wise. But there's got to be a line, otherwise they'll just keep pushing forward. Edit, to clarify my question, as I've had a few responses on what they think is the line where a response likely would happen, but my question is more, where is your line where you would support military response as a citizen? The red line is likely a NATO-affiliated state. At least it is for me. At that point we don't have a choice. Article 5 would have to be invoked, and if it wasn't invoked it would equal the collapse of NATO. Would equal the collapse of NATO. Nothing would make Putin happier than NATO ceasing to exist. Yes, which is why I think he's carefully watching how the West reacts. He'll push it as far as he can. Reworded, he'll let as many Russian and Ukrainian people die as he needs to. Hypothetical, Jake Paul challenges Putin to a boxing match, winner takes Ukraine, with no bloodshed. Do you hope Putin accepts? Putin will accept, but something mysterious will happen to Jake Paul before the match. Maybe it will be like with Rasputin? Dude, he ate so much poison. But Jake is just dabbing so hard the poison doesn't work. As an American, I wonder if this is what it was like for the rest of the world watching us invade Iraq. What are the similarities and what are the differences? Similarities: they're both wars. Differences: no country was not trying to and did not annex any part of Iraq as their own. The coalition forces had the backing of basically the entire world. And Saddam Hussein was a genocidal dictator. I'm gonna pass this off as simply being ignorant about history, but there cannot be less similarities between the wars. I'll push back on the Iraq invasion having the backing of basically the entire world. It was opposed by France, Germany, Russia, Belgium, Sweden, Norway, Greece and more as well. There was huge opposition in the US. I marched in a few very large rallies, not that it made a difference. The support it had was due largely to the lies they told about Iraq having WMDs, lies told by people we trusted, like Colin Powell. And sure, the US didn't try to annex Iraq, but it did attempt to control it for the next 15 years or so. I agree that it was a much different situation than the Ukraine invasion, but not for the reasons you stated. To me, the reason doesn't matter. The world had no business being in Iraq. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of civilians died because of it. The US lied to the world for their reasons for the invasion.